moms who are not employed say that they're at home primarily to care for the home and the family. 79% of moms say that. A much smaller share of dads who are home say that. They give more of a variety of reasons for being at home.
Those reasons include about 1/3 saying they stopped working because of illness or disability. Others were retired or said they could not find a job. And weather specialist Nick Dunn joins me now. And Nick, there was actually an earthquake in northeast Ohio about an hour ago.
Yeah, that's not something we typically report on.
Right.
Now, from what I can tell, nobody here in the Miami Valley felt it, but it was actually a pretty sizable one. So let's take a look at that. You can see now that yellow dot way up in the northeastern corner of the state, that's where this earthquake was. Again, it happened at about 10:43, so just over an hour ago. Magnitude was a 4.0, and that's relatively sizable for the Buckeye State. Now, this part of the state does typically see at least a few of these every year, but it's not an overly common occurrence. And it occurred about 4.5 miles below the ground, so not a very deep earthquake. A lot of folks across northeastern Ohio felt this. No damage so far. Now, we use the Richter scale to kind of help us rate these earthquakes, and they go from as little as 2.5 and even sometimes less than that, but nobody really feels those, to as much as an 8 or even higher than that, and that's where you really start to see a lot of significant damage. So this is kind of rated kind of on the lower end of that spectrum. Again, it's often felt that not much damage has occurred, something that we don't always get to report a lot on here in the Buckeye State. Live Doppler 7 this evening, dry for us. 66 right now in Dayton, 64 in Xenia. A couple spots already in the 50s. Greenville and Urbana checking in the 50s, and Oxford still hanging on to the 70s for now. Another piece of active news to kind of talk about this evening, you have Tropical Storm Idalia down here in between the Caribbean and the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Now, this is going to start to move northward towards Florida this week. They already have hurricane watches out. This may make a run at Category 2 hurricane straight before it makes landfall into Tuesday and Wednesday. With the warmer waters, I wouldn't be surprised if this actually becomes a major hurricane, which is anything rated at Category 3 or higher. So if you have any friends or relatives down in the Sunshine State, make sure that they are prepared for this, again, making landfall in the middle portions of this upcoming week. Now, out the door tomorrow here locally, no hurricanes, no earthquakes or anything like that expected here. We'll have a nice cool morning to start with upper 50s and lower 60s by 8 o'clock in the morning, making a run to the middle 70s by mid-afternoon and upper 70s to around 80 as we get ready to have our evening in with a nice day out there for us to start the work week. That's going to really be the trend for us for the entire week. So for tonight, clear skies, temperatures down into the 50s. No heat or AC needed, at least in my opinion, first thing tomorrow morning. Plenty of clear skies and sunshine into the afternoon, upper 70s to around 80. And you see maybe just a couple clouds out there. Get into Tuesday, you're going to have to start to notice a little bit more cloud cover picking up. Tuesday morning, we start even cooler. Wouldn't be surprised if some spots actually start in the 40s on Tuesday morning. Now, Tuesday afternoon and evening, a dry cold front's going to come through. It might spark a couple of showers, but I think even this is a bit overdone for us. For tonight, we'll drop it down to 56, though, mostly clear skies and definitely on the comfortable side. Open up the windows if you can. And looking at that 7-day forecast for your work week, 80 degrees on Tuesday. And then look at this wall-to-wall sunshine the rest of the week. We do start to warm up, though, by the end of the week, highs in the lower 80s and middle 80s for the weekend.
All right, thank you so much, Nick. It's week 3 of the Goodwill Drive to Victory. News Center 7's Mike Hartsock shows us the two marching bands going head-to-head this week.